On this episode of the Mompreneur Show, I'm talking to Julia. She is a seamstress, a mom, probably the other way around, a wife, mom, seamstress, and owner of Sweet Magnolia, a cute, adorable Etsy shop where she makes beautiful handmade baby essentials and mom essentials out of bamboo. How amazing is that? What a beautiful niche market, and we'll talk to her more about that. My name is Vicky. I am your host, as always, on the Mompreneur Show, where we interview the most remarkable mom entrepreneurs with the most amazing stories where you could be inspired from, and you can take the advice that we talk about here on the show and apply it to your own business. And I am so excited. Thank you so much for watching. Julia, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vicky.
It's so good to have you. It's been a long time coming, and besides all the technical difficulties, it's such a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
So, Julia, can you share with us your story of how you started your shop? How did you get this idea? Tell us the story.
Well, I have to say that Sweet Magnolia certainly did not start out the way it is now. I used to work finance at a corporate office, and another fellow mom who worked at the same office. We are both newly stay-at-home moms, and she was a graphic designer, so she decided she was going to design fabric, and I would sew with it. So we kind of started out that way, and we were asked to be part of just a Christmas fair, and it was kind of like, oh, let's just give this a go, and we'll have fun with it. Yeah. And we certainly did for about a year. We had a lot of fun together. Our kids would play while we would sew, and it was just a really great time. So she decided to have a third baby, which we all know is a lot of work. So I kind of went through this crossroad of, do I continue this on my own, or do we just, close up shop? And I, after a lot of soul searching and talking with my husband, decided that we were going to continue on and give it a go. And I'm so thankful that I did. I almost said no. So that's kind of how it ended up. I switched the logo, the name, and decided to stick with just bamboo fabrics, which is what I was totally in love with. And it's been open as Sweet Magnolia for about a year and a half now.
Wow. Okay, so it started off as a cute, sweet partnership with two friends, which turned into something amazing. So let's go back a little bit. What do you mean about you did some soul searching? What did you do to find, because there's so many, I've been there so many times. There's so many moms that are in that exact phase right now. They're trying to figure out what to do next, and they're soul searching per se. But what did soul searching mean for you? I would love if you could share with us.
Oh gosh. Well, since I was 17, I was always working 2, sometimes even 3 jobs. And I was always working, and also very social jobs. I mean, I did hair. I was a hairstylist for about 8 years. The corporate office that I worked in was also super based around being social. And all my friends worked there. It was just a really great community. And now I'm a stay-at-home mom, and which I was totally blessed to be able to do. And it was for sure exactly where I was meant to be. But I was also left feeling lonely, and just like I needed something for me. And so my husband and I kind of just talked a lot about what that would look like for our family. This would be an extra for us. It wouldn't be, my priority was raising our son. And so if I could, he's like, if you can handle this, on the outside of hours of being mom, then I fully support you. And he's been super amazing and going through his own journey of changing careers. So we've been just a huge support system for each other. And but I think the soul part was just, as a mom, as an individual woman, who am I? What do I want? And really kind of remembering that you have to take care of yourself before you can truly be the mom that you want to be. And I feel like this journey through Sweet Magnolia has certainly returned me back to who I am in my heart. And it's been a really, really great journey for me.
Wow, Julia, that's so beautiful. So, when you talk, I love that you honored your husband and you talked to him about it, and it
Absolutely,
was
yeah.
it was a family decision. I respect that so much because what's more important than family? Nothing.
Yeah,
And so
nothing.
I love that you shared that with us. So your husband supported you as long as this like a side hustle, right? So what
Yeah.
did it look like for you at that time when you were starting out? What was it like during nap times? Did you wake up early? What was it like?
Yeah, so at that time, my son was still taking his good afternoon, 2 hour nap, which was awesome. I would get a lot of work done then, and then I would sew in the evenings after he went to bed. My husband is currently working as a fireman, so those 2 nights that he's gone for 48 hours, so those nights were like my hustle nights. I would stay up till
Wow.
2 in the morning and just really get a lot of work done. Now that I'm getting busier, oh gosh, it's been a really big struggle because mom is my priority job. So, those 2 a.m. nights are like 3, 4 nights a week now. And so I just cannot handle that anymore. My body is not happy with
Of
me.
course, of course.
So, yeah, so currently I'm looking, I have a girl starting next week that's going to come and help me, another
That's
mom. So,
amazing.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to some help.
That's amazing. Okay. So, when so let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
When you met up with your friend to decide to do this, where did you guys, and this is more of like a technical question, where did you source the material? How did you even like the manufacturing part of it? How did you go about
As far
that?
as like when she would design the fabric, that part, or
Yeah, let's start there.
well, when I had a partner, she was a graphic designer, and she was able to find a company that she could upload all of her designs that we worked on together, and they would print it on basically whatever sort of fabric you wanted. So we chose organic cotton because that was something that was important to us, is to
Yeah.
be, to have it be organic. And yeah, it was really fun. It was a great way to be creative. In her, she is an amazing. She still does a graphic designer, and I was getting back into sewing, so it's just a really great partnership.
Okay, that's really, really sweet. Okay, so now when you were a year into it, how did it change? How did your business change over the time? Because I know that when we run businesses, we as people change, our businesses change. What did it look like a year or two later?
So a year in is when we decided that we would go our separate ways as far as just the company, and or the business. So I basically bought her out of the items that she purchased, and I took all the sewing machines and all the fabric and set up shop at my house. And that was at a year in. And then 2 years in was my 1 year mark as Sweet Magnolia, on my own. And it was a really great feeling. I mean, just to be like, I made it a year. I'm not in
Yeah.
any debt. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it just felt, I was in my groove, and it started to really feel like it was really just mine and something I put a lot of heart into.
Yeah. So what was it like parting ways with a friend and business partner?
It was really easy, actually.
Really?
Yeah, we remained friends, and because we really respected each other as women, as moms, and I fully 100% respected her decision to simplify her life, because she already had an Etsy business that was graphic design, and that takes a lot of work just by itself, let alone 2 kids, plus now, choosing to have a third, and I fully respect that, and I think it was a great choice for her.
Okay. So when you moved on, where do you get your patterns from now?
Patterns, I purchase patterns from other makers that are, most of them are moms too. And
Oh.
a lot of them though, I end up modifying to be special, like the little shorties I make now. I completely switch the pattern around to make, the band around the leg smaller, the band around the waistband bigger, to kind of modify what I envisioned it to be.
Okay.
I'm not a pattern maker by any means, so I needed that sizing to kind of start as a base, and then I add my personal touches to it.
Okay, so I love that you said you're not a pattern maker
Oh no.
because
Oh, no.
like it's so good to know what we're good at and what we're not. And for you, your strength is not in pattern design, but in actually making the beautiful clothing, the blankets, the hats. And I love that you said that. So thank you so much because there's so many moms that think that they have to do it all.
Oh no, 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 no.
And is that how
No.
you started with buying people's other moms' patterns? Is that how you started right off the bat, or was it something that you learned to understand as you moved further into your business?
We know I have no history of, I mean, I didn't go to school to have any fancy training for sewing or fashion design or anything. I'm really just a mom that had a hobby. And so for clothing, I really needed to purchase patterns because I didn't know how to make
Of
patterns.
course, yeah.
Other items like the swaddle blankets and the faux fur blankets, those are things I, made up on my own. Um, but the actual clothing, pants, and the sleep sack, I modeled off of an original pattern. I added things that I wanted it to be
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
So, yeah, you have to start somewhere,
of
and
course.
you're not everything. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing I've learned as well is that, you have this hobby. I love to sew. I love babies. Like they kind of meshed well together. But all the business of, marketing and finances, as far as just, all those back end things, um, you really have to learn a lot more than you think you do as a, starting. It's not just I love to sew and that's all you have to do,
Yes. Unfortunately, we have to mesh those two together as well as business owners, at least in the
Yeah.
beginning. And I'm so happy you went this way into the marketing side of things because this is a topic that's I think most interesting to other moms is okay. You have the product, awesome, it's beautiful, it's adorable. I mean, we have so many comments live here from Sharon. I don't know if you know her. She's from a cute shop, Eden and Faith. She has been checking out your stuff and she
Oh,
loves
thank
them.
you.
And
Thank you.
actually, she's been checking them out before this, like before I even like emailed.
Oh, wow.
And it's what a coincidence, right? But we also want to know, how do you get that product from your hands and how do you exchange it for money with other moms? Like, what are some of your marketing strategies? I've noticed that you are not on Facebook, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yes,
shocking at
so
the same time. So how
right,
do
I'm like
you
one of
market?
5 people in the world. Yeah. Well, I'm only on Instagram. It's simple for me. I know how to do it. It's the only thing really honestly that I do. I know I should be on Facebook. I do, however, I'm on Pinterest, but only because I just am obsessed with Pinterest.
So
Um,
how has been, let's stop at Pinterest. How has
okay.
Pinterest been working for you?
It's something that I'm still learning how to because I loved it just as my personal Pinterest. I love doing that, but now I'm starting to learn the business aspect of it, and thank goodness for blogs and other moms that
Yeah.
are willing to
Yeah.
share their information because that's really how I'm learning. I mean, YouTube videos, blogs, Pinterest is how I really learned everything pretty much. So I'm really, really thankful for that.
Yeah,
But
there's everything online right now. It's amazing.
it's so amazing. And Facebook, I chose to get rid of all my personal Instagram, my personal Facebook, everything. So I just don't have those things, and it makes it a
Wow.
lot easier um, just to keep focused.
And keep focused on what? It's trying to get
Just
deeper here.
honestly, to keep focused on being a mom. Those things are so distracting. And so I was finding myself checking my phone, here and there, only it's just a few minutes and, whatever. But really, all those few minutes add up at the end of the day, and they are taking away from what is most important in my life, which is my son. And so I just made the conscious choice. I'm going to get rid of them. And I just have my business Instagram. That's my only social media I have.
Okay, so let's stop right there.
Oh,
This is so incredible because
God.
there are there's a very small number of people who do this, who completely jump off social media and really are living their own lives, private lives, in their own homes and doing what they do best, being a mother, being a wife. And I'm not saying either of them is right or either of them is wrong, but
Absolutely.
it's such an incredible power that you have in that you made in self-control. And I mean, I can't even explain myself because that's how like emotional I am right now about this topic. Because my sister-in-law, actually, I don't know if she's watching, but she told me, yeah, hey, I'm getting off Snapchat, I'm getting off all the social, and she was on Snapchat, like literally her only social network, and she got off, and I was like, "Why are you getting off? We can't keep in touch like
Yeah.
this. It's annoying." And she's like, "No, I gotta get off. I really gotta focus on what's important to me." And I'm just like, "Okay, what does that make me like?"
Right. Yeah, and that was the thing that was I was getting some flack from family, that live out of town, and my grandma of all people was like, "What? You're getting off Facebook?" And I just said, "Grandma, I'll mail you pictures. We can chat on the phone." It's I wanted to return back to those things where you talk on the phone or you stop by someone's house to visit them, like these things have kind of
Yeah, there's
I don't know.
I,
It was just a personal choice. It's
I
not
feel
right for
you.
everyone, but
I completely understand, Julia. I completely understand, and I'm so happy that we're talking about this because I feel like I'm everywhere, which is really time consuming because you have to go check in this and that and post on here and keep
absolutely.
up with that. And I was actually thinking about this for the past couple of weeks. Is like, do I really want to be on all of these networks? And now that
Yeah.
we moved away so far from family, I'm just like, I think I should stay on. But anyway, it's definitely something to consider. And because I mean, what's more important than family? Again, I have to repeat myself.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And the one thing that we were able to work out as a family is that with your iPhoto, there's the iCloud, the sharing albums.
yeah,
And so you can add in all your family members that have iPhones, which some of them don't, which is hard, but
yeah.
we all add each other on this one big photo album and we just share photos within our immediate family,
That's
which is really, really
amazing. I
nice.
did not
Yeah.
know that. I saw the sharing album feature. I was like, oh, what is that? Like cloud stuff.
Oh, it's
But
awesome.
thank you so much for sharing that. That is such a great
Yeah.
idea. Because like my sister doesn't have an iPhone. That might be a problem. But
Uh,
that's a really great tip. So if you don't want to be on social network, ladies, just share your albums with your family. It will share with all your anybody who has an iPhone, anybody who you choose. So
yeah, and anyone you invite to be
yeah.
part of that. Yeah.
Thank you, Julia. And Renee Harris, thank you so much for joining us. It's so good to see you here. All right, so Julia, let's move forward and talk about Instagram. So you're on Instagram. You're practically your primary social network. How do you sell stuff directly through Instagram? How does that work?
No, I just have the link to my Etsy shop in the profile, and
Hmm.
certain things like if I'm overstocked on a certain item, or if I have one that I found from a long time ago, I might put it on there and just use PayPal as a paying source. But really, no, I don't sell anything through my Instagram.
Okay, so, and I see you here have a link on there, and you just post like really sweet images. So how were you able to grow your Instagram to so many engaged followers?
Well, I really have, since the beginning, been super honest and super organic about the way I've grown it. I don't have a ton of followers, but every photo I've liked, every person I've followed is someone I really love the photo. I don't do it just for, just to get my name out there or whatever. Um, and I think that really helps you to really engage the right followers. I mean, people that you love their stuff and they probably are going to have the same style as you and like your stuff back. And so it's been a very organic, very slow process, but I feel really good about doing it that way.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Because there's so many, like since Instagram started advertising, there's so many things like grow your Instagram
Oh,
following and
yeah.
this and that. And it's good to know that there are still businesses that are run on this organic way and really paying attention to what they're liking and who they're attracting. So that's super beautiful. So now, how do you have like any partnerships with other shops that you do like either like a share for share or a type of like
Mhm.
a here talk about me and I'll talk about you. Like, do you do any of that stuff?
Nope.
Wow.
Probably should. I don't know. I know a lot
Oh,
of people do, and that's really helpful.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the only thing like that that I have done is there's been a couple mom bloggers that have reached out to me and said, "Hey, I really, really love this particular product. If, you send it to me, I'll take a bunch of cute photos and so, you can use the photos." I have done that a few times.
Hmm.
I don't have any, I think people are calling them, oh,
Brand ambassadors.
yes, yes, which is a great
Yeah.
idea. I don't have any of that. I just have really wanted all the relationships that I have to be super organic, super real. And maybe it's not the smartest for a business, but it's something that I, at the end of the day, can feel really good about in my heart and know that, someone really, they've reached out to me. They really like my things. And
Yeah.
only if I really love, the way that they're doing life, the way that they're doing their photos and everything like that, then it can be a really great positive exchange for both of us, and we can both feel good about it.
I love that. I love that because then you mix business with something that with your life's mission, almost like the
Yeah,
seasonal
and it
life's mission.
actually,
Beautiful.
I've made quite a few friends that way, which has been really, really fun.
That's beautiful. So, do you take your own photos as well, or are they all by your customers or fans?
I take some photos myself, but again, that's one of the things I'm not really great at. Just the behind the scenes kind of photos are all ones that I take. I have a girlfriend, Laura Nelson, who's an amazing photographer, and she's a local mom here that is also a stay-at-home mom, and she's taken most of my product photography, which I'm super thankful for. She's really amazing. But most of the photos that I get, honestly, are just of children wearing my items are from customers that have tagged me.
I love that, and I know that
Hmm.
that's what Christina does from Billy Bibs. I don't know if you know Christina, but
Uh, I don't, but I'm obsessed with her bibs. They're beautiful.
right? She was on a
Hmm.
show. I think it was like February, I think, and
Oh, fun.
yeah, she's amazing and so inspiring. And exactly what she shared with us too is that like a lot of her photos are from her customers, and I love that because customers love to be acknowledged, and when you repost their photo and tag them, they do the happy dance.
Well, I think we both do because you make all these items at home by yourself and
Yeah.
you send them out and you always kind of wonder like, oh, it'd be so fun to see who's getting to wear these and who I get the honor of sewing for and doing these things. It's fun to see it actually kind of at the end where it's being worn and enjoyed.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So Julia, what are your goals, your future goals with Sweet Mongolia?
My future goal, really, number one, is to just keep it as something that's sustainable with my family. Lately, I've been staying up way too late. It's a hurdle I've been trying to fix, and I need to kind of scale back to where I can go the long haul, I guess. So basically, that's my number one goal is to keep it simple enough that I can manage it still and keep my family first and keep it going.
Yeah. So, Julia, I think what you're talking about is like a lifestyle business. And I love that you
Mhm.
shared that with us because as long as it goes around what you want your lifestyle to be, let it be. And I love that because our previous guest, last week's guest, Asha Dornfest, she shared a very similar message as well. It's like she did not want to grow big. The decisions that
Mhm.
she made were pretty silly ideas as far as business goes, but they were decisions that were right for her family. And I love the message that
Yeah.
you are spreading is that you don't necessarily have to become the next um, freshly picked moccasins. and be in
Absolutely, yeah.
Nordstrom's, which is amazing. But
Absolutely.
it's not everyone's dream, and I respect both parties, obviously.
And I would totally not complain if Nordstrom came and said, "Hey, I want to carry your things." But while this time is that my son is young, I have to make that the priority, and that may change later on once he is in school full time, and I have a lot more time to put into it. My dream for it may become much bigger, but I want to be able to sustain it to that time for now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, okay, now I want to ask you more questions about that. So, how old is your son?
He's 3.
He's 3. Okay, so you have 2, 3 more years to go.
Yeah.
So that's amazing how. So okay, so all as mothers, our life is very, very much seasonal, and we live in very different seasons, and at different times. Some seasons are easier, some seasons are harder, and I love that you're embracing your current season because it's sometimes very hard to embrace the season that we're in and just accept it and say, you know what, maybe I'm going through the winter that I'm not a big fan of, and obviously not in your case, but just living through the season and really embracing it is the message that I'm hearing, and it's absolutely beautiful. And if he's going to be 8, 9, and Nordstrom knocks on your doors, yes,
Yep.
please, right?
I absolutely, yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think will take to get there? Like, do you think that before Nordstrom knocks on your door, Target will knock on your door, kind of like they did? I don't know if you're familiar with Freshly Picked story, but
Yes,
Target
yeah.
approached them, and then they said no to Target, waiting for Nordstrom.
Yeah, well, I think when you have this particular goal in mind, there's a lot of things that come along the way that are very tempting. Wholesale for me right now is one of them. I've dabbled in a little bit of wholesale lately, and I realized that's not the way I want to go. So
Interesting.
yeah, so I'm keeping those accounts that I do have because I feel like that's, I want to honor that. However, I feel like the art of saying no is something that is good to learn when those things aren't working. Um, I feel like along the way you can have a lot of opportunities that are very, very tempting to say, yes to because it's business for right
Yeah,
now
of
or it's
course.
exciting for right now. But you really have to ask yourself, is this getting in the way of my huge goal at the very end? And for her, it was Nordstrom. And for me right now, it is motherhood. So
Mm.
my main goal is motherhood and keeping that in the way that I want to be. I want to be the best mom that I can be. So these wholesale accounts, I will keep them, but I'm not saying yes to any more because it takes away too much time. It's a lot of work to keep stores stocked.
So
So,
is it true that it's a lot of work and not a lot of payback for the wholesale accounts?
well, I absolutely. I mean, they take a certain
Of course.
percentage of the sales, so it's more work because they're big orders at one time, which can be very
Yeah.
tempting. 'Cause it's like, oh, it's exciting! I get this big order, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it also takes a lot of time to make that big order, and
Mm.
it's one of those things where you have to ask, is this really the right route for to keep that main priority first?
Did you? That makes so much sense, and it's beautifully said. Did you start with working with wholesales in the beginning?
No, absolutely not. So, I have 2 local stores here that I carry things in that are consignment. So it's a less percentage that they take than
Oh.
wholesale. So I control what I put in the store, how much I put in the store. So it's something that I really liked doing because it was something that I could add things as I had time for. However, the wholesale, they take a bigger percentage. They place their order, specific to what they think their customer will need, and you make it and send it, and then you're done, with it.
But how does it weigh, like, do the differences weigh out in the end though? Like, I mean, for in the beginning, like, I completely respect and I totally understand your decision. But like, for example, let's say in the middle, in the beginning, when you started working with shops as a wholesaler, did that help you get the word out about your product?
No, because it's actually something that's been more recent.
Okay.
Within the last month,
Oh,
actually, I
wow.
picked up the two wholesale orders, and
Wow.
they contacted me, and it was something that they wanted. It wasn't something I was advertising. And so I thought, well, gosh, this is exciting. This would be a
Yeah.
really fun. I'm going to test it out, see if I like it.
Yeah.
And however, I feel super honored that they would ask. And it's something, like I said, I will continue with those two accounts. I just don't want to add any more workload than I think I'm at my max right now.
Very interesting. So, what if when your son goes to school, are you open to opening those opportunities up? Maybe having somebody work with you, or
Yeah, absolutely. So right now I'm having another mom, like I said, she's starting next week, and she's going to come just kind of as I need her to help cut fabric and just kind of do all the things that are a time suck, that I can just keep me focused on sewing. That's going to be huge. I'm
yeah,
really excited
yeah,
for that. But the time later on when my son is in school, I will have to really reevaluate my goals for the business at that time,
yeah,
and
yeah.
say Nordstrom is my goal at that time. I'll have to just see what it takes to get there at that time, and if it means hiring, another seamstress, if it means hiring a couple, we'll just kind
Yeah.
of see where I'm at when that road comes.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think that's a very wise choice. So, I just had a really good question for you, like a juicy question for you. One sec. How do you keep in touch with your customers? That was it. So, how do you, like when they buy from you? Do you capture their email and have a communication with them? Do you have any repeat customers? Like, I would love to hear that process for you.
Yeah, I do have a lot of repeat customers. I I always send out a handwritten note with every order that's personal toward that person. Some people I've had a previous relationship with, and so I always touch on that. Um, when I think Instagram is a huge tool for that because you can really stay in touch, follow them, follow your customers, and because you really do, it's fun to see your things being worn. It's fun to get to know your customer, what they like. It really can kind of help you to make your next product or to understand how you market your items, to really know and know what they want, know what they need, and I think Instagram just, keeping in touch that way has been really huge for me.
No, that's powerful. So thank you so much for sharing. That's amazing.
Mhm.
So, all right, is there? We're gonna be wrapping up here in just a
Yeah.
minute, Julia. And before I do, I have two questions for you.
Okay.
Number one, what is the advice that you would give to a mom who wants to start an Etsy shop selling handmade
Mhm.
items?
I would say just start. I would say don't wait until you have, fancy training or you're perfect at it. I would say just start. Start with one item. Um, Read and every blog you can read. There's a lot of great. I mean, if you just search Etsy, start an Etsy shop on Pinterest, there are a bajillion links to different great blogs that can help you out. But I would say just start.
I love that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And can you tell us about a recent project that you've been working on? You mentioned that in the email, and I do not remember the name of it.
It's called Grace Village, and it's something that's been on my heart for quite a while now, actually. I've found a ton of community within the handmade business, so much support, so many great interviewers, such as yourself, so many great forums and blogs, and Rising Tide Society is a huge one as well. That
Yeah.
I've just found a lot of support with. And because being a solo business owner, it can be really lonely, and to have that connection is really amazing. I feel like another lonely part of my life has been being a stay-at-home mom. Um, being a mom can be really hard. You can feel alone, you can feel judged, you can feel uncertain, you can feel so many crazy things that you never thought would come with motherhood.
Yeah, yeah.
And although it's super beautiful and it's the best job in the world, there's a lot of things that um, I just crave that connection. And so I want to build that connection, a community for that connection. And it's going to be called Grace Village because I really feel like it takes a village to make, to produce great, kids. It's hard.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've had a great village within my family. My mother-in-law is amazing. I had a lot of friends actually that are older in age that have really shared a lot of great information with me. And grace really for me was just, I want women to have grace with each other, to uplift each other, be positive, share positive things, not judge each other and each other's situations and the choices that they make in those, because we really don't know what it is to walk in each other's shoes,
Exactly.
but we can truly just be there for each other. And so I want to build this community. I just started the Instagram account. It's grace.village, and I'm going to be sharing it on Sweet Magnolia. So I don't know if that means later on I'll have a blog or a podcast or something that will, I would like to have interviews with other moms. I would like to have women who've been through particular struggles just share that, and then prompt conversation about it. Maybe women can connect with each other across the world, across, your own town. Maybe you'll meet another mom that you can connect with. So that's kind of my dream for that. And thought I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
It's a start, right?
Yeah, just following your own advice. I love that. Well,
Yeah.
Julia, you have been amazing. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
on
you,
the Mompreneur
Vicky. I
Show.
really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Mompreneur Show. Julia is such an inspiration on every single level. I am so inspired by her, but the choices that she's made to be there for her family as family comes first, and I love that. She's a beautiful example of that. I am your host, Vicky Lashenko, and this is a show that features amazing stories of the most remarkable mom entrepreneurs. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you will join us live next time, every single Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on Facebook Live.